Hey guys, it's me. So today I kind of wanted to talk about me being online and what I've kind of learned about being in online spaces. So I'm a really small content creator, if that's what you can even call it, because I'm not getting paid. But I have received hate, and one thing I've realized is that when you're online, you don't know these people, okay? You don't know who they are. You don't know what apps they got on their phones or computers. You don't know what kinds of people they are. You don't know if they're the world's best hacker. You don't know anything about these people. So, the thing about technology is that it's very complex. And there are apps and things that you can use to get at people and get a hold of their personal location information, stuff like that. And I've had that happen to me already, and I have less than 200 followers on Instagram. So here's a lesson learned from today is that hating back on your haters is not going to do anything positive for you because they're already hateful, and feeding more hate into their lives is going to make them want to spite you. So this is what I've learned recently, and take my advice. If you're going to try and be online, take my advice, because sometimes when people pick at you and get at you, it does, it makes you a little upset and angry. But all you gotta do is ignore them. And I'm starting to really realize this. Because ignoring them is the best case scenario. Because, if someone were to say something nasty to me in real life, I would just ignore them. I'm not going to say anything to them. I might talk shit when I get home, but that's going to be on my own time. That's going to be, by myself where they can't hear it. And it won't be, somewhere public. And what I'm trying to say is that I, on my Instagram, was hating back on the people that were hating on me. And there was this girl who gave everybody, apparently, my location. And I'm just sitting there like, first of all, you're weird. Second of all, you already know she has some weird apps on her phone to use this on other people. Not just me. So, this is where, a safety precaution comes into your head, because, you gotta think. People aren't hateful for no reason. They've gone through things, they're going through things currently, and you never know what somebody's going through, you never know how they were raised, you never know what's going through their minds. And my advice is that if you're going to be in an online space, is to block these people if you can, okay? Like on Instagram, if they don't give you the vibe that you like, block them. Because if you want to build a positive community, having these negative people around that like to bully and belittle people that you would like in your community will make them feel scared to comment. It will make them feel estranged. It'll make them feel unwelcome. It'll make them feel like they're a target now. And it's just for the best to just block these people. Like if someone were to say that to you on Facebook, just block them. And it's no different on social media. You don't have to go through that. You don't have to allow these people in your lives. And you really have to think about, first of all, if you were to get super, super popular, you're going to have them regardless, and you can just ignore them. I know it might be hard. I've had people hate on me, call me names, and reposting my Instagram posts about calling myself gothic, and they have a real problem with that, but at the end of the day, I just block them, ignore them. The fact that they decide to spread hate is not my problem. The fact that they decide to hate me is not my problem. The fact that they have an issue with me is not my problem. And it's not your problem if anybody has a problem with you. It's not your problem that somebody took what you said and decided to use it for something negative. It's not. And this is just my advice to everybody, because you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to allow this negativity to keep reoccurring in your life, because everybody deserves happiness, everybody deserves peace, and even your haters, they're going through something. I think for the best for everybody, it's just best to ignore them, block them, and say no. You're not allowed to be in my positive space. And that's really what this video is about, is not letting these negative people get to you. Always love yourself. Always love yourself. Never pick at yourself. I don't care who said what about you. I don't care if somebody called you a whale. Somebody called me a whale, by the way, on my Instagram. And guess what? Do I think I'm a whale? Absolutely not. Why? Because I find fat women attractive. I find women that are fatter than me attractive. And I would never say that to them. And I would never say that about myself, because I am not a whale. And even if I was, whales are beautiful, they're majestic, and they are not to be used as an insult, because they're beautiful creatures that God created. Thank you. Just like piglets. Pigs are cute. Pigs are smart. Pigs are beautiful. If somebody calls you a pig, well, guess what? I like pigs. I think pigs are cute. I have a shirt with a pig on it. You think that bothers me? I like pigs. Hello? If somebody calls you a rat, I like rats. Well, if you don't like rats, that's one thing, but I do. I think they're cute. They have little hands. Okay? It's not an insult to me. And, if somebody calls you a whale, whales are beautiful. They're just big. And there's nothing wrong with being big. Okay? Your health is none of their concern. Your health is your own concern and your family's concern and the people that love you's concern, not random strangers. And they're not concerned about you. They're concerned about bullying and belittling you. And that's not what you need. You don't need to pick yourself. You don't need to listen to these people. Yes, you might see this on social media, if you're on social media, but all you got to do is look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. I'm handsome, I'm beautiful, and just give yourself a compliment. That's what I do. I don't see myself as any different than I did before, because I know what I look like. I know I'm overweight, okay? I do. And I know that I look good. I do. And I feel beautiful. And some people just can't love fat on somebody because they have their own insecurities with their own fat deposits. Now, I don't have that, okay? I don't have insecurities with my fat. I don't. Now, sometimes I'll look at my fat and go, oh yeah, my belly's looking a little big. But do I pick at myself? No. I mean, it's just an observation. I'm observing it. I'm not picking at it. I'm not going, oh, it's so disgusting. No, I never do that. Never do that to yourself. And my advice is to never do that to other people. I don't pick at people. I don't pick at people online. Well, let me say this. So what I did was, on my Instagram, I was belittling people back because they did it to me first. Okay? Now, that's a human reaction. Now, online, it's weird. But you gotta keep in mind that this is a lesson learned for me. And I'm trying to teach you that if you want to be online, I know I'm a small creator, but if you want to be online, it's best to just leave the hate alone. Leave it alone. Do not feed into it. Do not, do not, just kind of empathize with it. Understand that, the pain that these people are going through, that irritation that these people are going through, that's not your problem, okay? None of their issues are your issues. What they say is not your issue. It's their own issue. Do not listen. Listen to what you think about yourself, because you know yourself. You know how you feel. If you feel beautiful, like how I feel when I look in the mirror with my fat, see, I'm not skinny. And I'm happy. I'm happy. And that's good. Being happy is good. And I'm a sweet person. Being sweet is good. And some people don't understand that when you insult somebody, they'll want to insult you back. But my advice, lesson learned for me, is to not do that, because there's people, weird people, that will try to dox your location because they have a problem that you're rude back. What I gotta say to that is, like I said, block them, ignore them. Because you don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like the meme. Ain't nobody got time for that. Because they really don't. I ain't got time for that. No, I don't. I ain't got time for that. And I ain't got time for hate. You know, so feeding into it, nah, let's just leave it alone. You know, somebody's going to call you fat, trapped, whatever. They've done it to me. And I saw this beautiful girl that I saw on Instagram who was also getting chopped. Or she was getting called, chopped. And it had the comment had like over 1,000 likes. And I'm like, she's a gorgeous girl. She looked like a Caligula's sister. And she's over here getting called chopped. And I'm like, you really can't listen to these people. You really can't. Because they're, they got issues. And you're not, don't ever listen to these people. It's not your problem that they hate you. Okay? It's not. They're going to try to make it your problem. But it's not. And it will never be your problem. All you have to do is delete the comment. All you have to do, you don't have to look at it. You don't have to even read your comments. But all you could do for your mental health, for your self-love, would you like it if somebody said that about somebody that you loved? The answer is no. Would you block them for them? If the answer is yes, that's what you should do for yourself. Because I don't have time for people that can't understand kindness, love, compassion. I just don't. I don't have time for people that don't understand that when you bully and belittle people, that's awful. I don't have time for that. And I don't have time for people that have issues with me for whatever small reason or whatever reason that they want to pick at. And, you never should pick at yourself. And that's really it. Don't listen to these people. I could say the sky is red. But does that mean the sky is actually red? No. So why would you listen to these people? Look at yourself in the mirror. Give yourself a compliment. If you believe what they're saying, my suggestion is to just give yourself a compliment. Okay? I know I'm fat. It's not that I'm not. Okay? It's that I love my fat. There's a difference. Somebody else hates it. And that's fine. If that's what you hate, okay. But I don't. I don't hate fat. I think fat is cute. It just depends. But I think fat can be cute. And I think that, fat is not an issue for me. I just don't find it as an issue. And, if somebody else does, that's not my issue. That's not my problem. That they have an issue with me being fat. Why would they have an issue with that? I have no clue. But, they just got their own problems to worry about. Don't feed into the hate. Don't bully and belittle yourself just because somebody else did it. Don't listen to these people. That's my advice. And I really mean that. Because everybody's got their own issues. And if people are going online and trying to get at people, that's their own problem. Okay? That's never going to be your problem. Do not make it your problem. Okay? So I just want to let you know you are loved. There are people in your life that love you. Okay? When you go to work, people love you. When you go to school or whatever, people love you. When you go to your mom's house, she loves you. It's a happy time, okay? Don't focus on the bad things. Focus on the people that give you compliments. Like, there's people that give me compliments It's great. That's the people that matter. The people that try to make you feel good are the people that feel good inside of their soul. That's the truth. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and don't listen to hateful people. Because hateful people, no. That's really it. Hateful people? No. And that's really it. Bye, guys.